First lecture of the day, the L talk, to be discussed by Dr. MUSTAPHA ALIMI, will be helping us understand how to properly manage our back, inshallah. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah.
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. In this kind of gathering, I prefer being referred to Alhaji MUSTAPHA ALIMI. I think it's more appropriate. When I was training to become an orthopedic surgeon, I had cause to want to travel for a course outside the country. So I told an uncle of mine about it. And he said, when was the last time you went on Hajj? I said, it's been a long time since I went on Hajj. When I went on Hajj, as at that time, I'd never gone on Hajj with my own money. It was people taking me on Hajj. He said, okay, before you start the journey of life, you go on Hajj, and there go and relate your plans to Allah and let Him put barakah on it. And so it started. And that is one of the counsel I'm going to give to everybody that is here today. For those of you who Allah has blessed enough to go on Hajj, go. Because Allah can bless you so much that you will not have time to go on Hajj. And it has happened to so many people before. When the Hajj period comes, somebody will bring a contract and then you defer to next year. Next year that you are not sure that you will live up to. Can I have the lights off, please? The essence of this lecture that I want to give, I'm going to be mixing Yoruba language with English language so that I can carry some messages across to the audience. I want to appeal to the people on the higher table to go to the most higher table so that they don't twist their backs in trying to see how to manage the back. Do I have this? Or you'll be controlling it? So when I do like this, you move it. Allah is the best of creators. When Allah wants to create a being that will crawl, He will not lay emphasis on the back. He will design the back such that the back just supports that being when it is crawling. When Allah wants to create a being that will just be lying down, He de-emphasizes the back because you don't need the back to lie down. But for a being, for a creation of Allah to stand upright, you need the back. That's Allah's design. Now, what are the components of the back? I'm sure there are very few people here that have ever seen their backs before. If you have seen your back before, it means your eyes are not where they should be. So there are people here who have seen your backs, or you have seen other people's backs. So you can describe the back very well, but I will give you a more detailed description of the back. Now, the back is, Allah plastered the back with skin. That skin is supposed to hold the bashiana, the meat, which people call muscles, that are behind, that are inside the skin. Those muscles are there to give balance to bones and to control the bones that are there to maintain the structure of the back. You are not following me? Now, the bones of the back, when Allah says severally in the Quran that, look, I am the best of creator. If Allah had designed the bones of the back to be one piece of bone from the base of your neck down to your waist, you will not be able to bend down. So Allah made sure, as the best creator, to put them in layers. Like flaws. But Allah knows that that back will be needed when you start walking. And if it is in flaws and it is not shock absorbed, when you walk, your back will break. You can imagine a child jumping up and down. They will climb this place, they will jump down. If it's all layers without shock absorbing, then there will be crisis. So in between these bones, Allah in His infinite mercy put what we call disc. They are like shock absorbers, such that each successive bone is interspersed with those shock absorbers. That is why when you walk and they move, if you have ever sat down in a car that doesn't have shock absorber, when it enters the galloping, you will know what you feel. So you can imagine your back without shock absorbers. Now, those shock absorbers, in our modern knowledge, we refer to them as disc. Tẹ́ bá ti rẹ́ ìran rí, tẹ́ bá rẹ́ ìyẹn, ẹ rí á dàbí kèrèkèrè láàrin egun. Ìyẹn lolóyìnbó ń pè ní disc. Now, let me now describe the bones of the back to you. The bones of his back, despite the fact that they are meant as support, Allah also made them as what? As protection. Because the whole coordination of the movement of the body comes from the brain. Then the nerves come together and they pass through the neck. From the neck, they enter the back. You can imagine if you don't have good bones in your back, that is just bashi and segumbe, then those nerves will get easily injured. And once those nerves get injured, the next thing is paralysis. MashaAllah. Next, please. So, in Allah's evolution, Allah looked at it that, look, from cradle to the grave, these kids that don't have self-control, they don't have balance, they will trip. So what Allah in His infinite mercy did was that for their back, He made sure that their muscles are more elastic and their bones are made more of soft tissues. The bones in their back now, they are more of soft tissues than hard tissue. So when a baby is born and you carry the baby, you see, it looks like this. It looks floppy. Allah allowed that for flexibility and for protection for the child, but because the child has no self-control, the child has no self-mastery. As the child grows older, the child now tends to sit. The flexibility is lost for strength. And that is what happens in the life of a human being. As at birth, you are very flexible. As adults, you are very strong. As you age, you become less flexible and less strong. And that is what we call the process of aging. Now, when the child starts standing, he has lost some flexibility, though he still has much more than adults, but the bones are stronger. And now, toba nsere, toba fo, toba lule, babe adide. Toko mo pe to un ba danwo. O ma gbohun do si to enjoy yen. Ṣùgbọ́n àwọn yẹn tó bá dìde tó bá nígbà tó bá lulẹ̀ bá a wọ̀ tó a wò sí, a yí a tó dìde a tó máa sáré lọ. The parents will say, hey, ọmọdé yìí ò ní ṣe rẹ̀ léṣe. That's Allah's protection for the child. Next image, please. So, as we grow older, we replace cartilage with bones. We replace flexibility with strength. You become stronger because Allah has designed. Look, as this child becomes older and the child needs strength for their daily livelihood. Continue, please. The child will require strength for their daily livelihood. So, the bones and the muscles need to be stronger. But as we progress in life, when we get to the age, when we become so strong that we now become weak, the need for muscles is no longer there. The bones are becoming less flexible. The joints are becoming less flexible. The bones start solidifying. And Allah in His infinite mercy, you know what He does? As you grow older, you now start returning. You lose muscles. Instead of becoming flexible, you gain fibrous tissues. You become less flexible. But you are no longer strong. And as well, you start losing bones. The bone stock of a woman, the loss of the bone stock of a woman starts very actively as soon as she attains menopause. Then for a man, as he's attaining age of 60, 70, the bones become very fragile and becomes easy to break. And these bones we are talking about are bones of the back. So the first part of my lecture is to let you know that the back evolves from cradle, I don't want to say to the grave now, to elderliness. What you gain as a child, the flexibility and the loss of strength and the elasticity you have, you crave for strength. What you gain in that strength, you lose in flexibility. And then as you age, at his strength, at his flexibility, now next stage, go on please. I'm way ahead of you. You see, I've talked beyond the children and all that. Now, I'm going to talk about the diseases that affect the back. First of all, the cautions that you need to take. I want Ishora, ten lati, mu, lare. Now, Akoko is that Allah in his infinite creation did not start creating these children now. What you saw the people that I don't want to call them the children, the semi-adults of Antanzil when they came to recite. Omo Musulumi ajesara ni maje. So, nǹkan tẹ́ bá fẹ́ kọ́mọdé yìí dà lágbàlagbà, ẹ ti máa kó sí lára láti kékeré. Àwọn imam máa jẹ́rìí sọ̀rọ̀ tí mo ń sọ yìí. Ẹ ti máa kó sí lára láti kékeré. Ẹ ti máa kó sí lára láti kékeré. So the first thing is that these children, for them to have good back strength, they have to be well nourished. The first nutrition that they need is breast milk. You have to give them proper nutrition. Fully manufactured food designed for them. It's a personal design. Fully manufactured. Because see, there's no other meal you can prepare for them that will be as good for them as that meal. So you give it to them. When they now start eating and they start eating what you eat, you give them priority. Not you eat two and they eat half. You eat half and they eat two. That is the priority you are going to give to them in terms of bone building. Now, in Lati, you have to give them space to play. Because for their muscles and bone to gain that strength, it does not come from sitting down on a spot. When we were growing up in this town, you cannot have a school that does not have a playground. We are choked for space now. Most schools don't have playground. That short period of play contributes to both the physical and mental development of that child. So that is first caution. The next caution is that as you grow older and your responsibilities start to change, you will have to make alterations in your own lifestyle as an adult. If you look at the steps of the Quran, of Salat, kó dàníyàn ọ̀run kó má dìde lọ ṣàlọ́ àlá. Àní ibẹ̀ náà ni wá ti dàníyàn àlọ́ àlá. Ó bá ti má níyàn wà lọ́la ti wọlé. Orí ìjókòó yẹn náà ló wà. Ìrun ti bẹ̀rẹ̀. Ó ké Fátíà lórí ìjókòó. Ó ké kọ̀lọ́bà kan kò lórí ìjókòó. Ó dẹ̀ mú bẹ́ẹ̀ lórí ìjókòó yẹn náà ọkàn ló máa fi gbé. Ó dẹ̀ sálámọ̀ sọ́tún sálámọ̀ sósì ó ti kírun tán nìyẹn. Ṣùgbọ́n Allah in infinite mercy, because He has designed your body for motion. Allah did not create you as one solid log, like a wood, like a piece of tree. Allah created joints. It was designed for motion. So Allah expects you to exercise those activities, if not for yourself, at least for Him. So the steps you take towards performing wudu, You exercise the motion of a lot of joints in your body towards going to the masjid. You exercise a lot towards salat. For you to observe salat, there are very few joints in your body that you will not move. There are very few joints in your body that you will not move. Okay, okay, fine. And that is so that you understand Allah in His perfect creation, that you are designed to move. In our day-to-day life, most of us are sedentary. 90% of people are sedentary. But you are expected, after that, your sedentary lifestyle, to glorify Allah by moving those joints that He has given to you, apart from that of salat. And that is what some people go ahead to do in the gym. You see them on Saturday morning along the Korodu Road, going towards stadium. You see some people, you walk, you run, you jog. You are expected to take those sedentary, to get out of that sedentary lifestyle. Your life is not a life of sit down and watch television. You have to move out and then go and earn a living. In that process, you exercise those joints that Allah has given to you. Also, another caution is, watch what you eat. People say all sorts of things about feeding. If you can stay away from refined food, the better it is for you. The more your food is not far from the way Allah created it, or the way Allah instructed you to use it, the safer it is for you. The safer it is for you. So that is regarding lifestyle. And the sedentarism, even when you retire, you are expected to take an active lifestyle, to get out, to move. Just move out and don't be a couch potato. Then the other thing I want to talk about is, you are still here. I've gone way beyond all those places. Go back to those images. Yes. Now, Ashatutulowolu, for children to carry rucksacks. Rucksacks are are the bags that children carry to school nowadays. Rucksack, akpasenyi. Now, the problem with the akpasenyi, the akpasenyi is a very good way of conveying books and materials to school. But the challenge is that akpasenyi, whatever the child is carrying, must not exceed 30 to 40% of the child's weight. And a lot of children, what they're saying is more than their own weight. And it's not a joke. It causes it accelerates the generation of the child's back. You understand what I'm saying? If you have a car, you buy a car, new car, and you and your friend, both of you live at Mile 12, and your friend carries 2 or 3 passengers, he heads to Lagos Island every day, and you, after your 2 or 3 passengers, you load the boot with yam every day. Same route, which car will spoil first? So that is the akpasenyi for you. Let your child carry akpasenyi. Don't let it be overload for the child. It's not every book that the child takes to school that the child uses every day. Let the school say which one the child needs today, tomorrow. Then akpasenyi is not for one side. It's not alakpakan. It must be akpasenyi on both sides, and it must be very well fitting. I threw that in as a caution because it's a common trend around. Then if I move on to those of us that run sedentary lifestyles, those of us that work at computer desks, and lati show ijoko, your sitting must be such that whenever you are looking at your laptop or computer, you are looking at eye level. You are looking straight ahead. Kofenyiti, kofidi joko, and your knee joint is bent at about 90 to 100 degrees. Kokakoju. Some of these things are difficult to practice, even for those of us that say it. But we should still tell you. Because it is expensive not to practice it. Because once you don't practice it, you will degenerate faster and you will come back to see the doctor earlier. Now, there are other conditions that I want us to be cautious about. As human beings, generally, we don't check. Most of us check our cars more than we check our body. Adama wani. Once you get up in the morning, alhamdulillah, I mean, engine to start near. Until the day the engine complains, you don't check anything. But at the same time, before you left, before you leave your house, you have opened the bonnet, or to check engine oil, or to check me. But tara, check. Eje kama shayewo lore kore. It is expensive on the short run, but it's cheaper on the long run. It looks like a lot of money. Why am I doing it? I always tell people that, look, if you go to a doctor and you spend money and he says, oh, no problem, that is money well spent. A negative result is very, very good. We could see problem. To buy jade, ko ya mashalashi, ko se shudut. To ko ogoro yan lo ti wole, ti doctor so pe wahala de o. That is telling you that there is no problem. That's good news. But please check. And always listen to your body. The Allah, as the best of creators, has put warning sign. No, there's nobody here that will say, it will give you this, the most subtle of warning signs I will give you is small pain, small headache. It may be just even an itch. It may be for the past 2 or 3 weeks when you wake up in the morning, you are just feeling weak. You are not feeling well. It will give you subtle warnings. But oftentimes, in our quest to earn our day-to-day livelihood, we don't listen. What are the conditions I want you to be afraid of? One is that as deadly as cancer is, cancer comes to the back. Cancer can start from the back, or it can start from organs around the back. For men, you have the prostate. For men and women, you have what we call the colon. For women, you have the breast. For men and women, you have the thyroid. For men and women, you have the kidneys. Cancer láti gbogbo àwọn ọbẹ̀ yẹn àti lọ sẹ́yìn ò ní lára. Tó bá dé dẹ́yìn, paralysis ló máa dálẹ̀. Ó ṣòro gbọ́. Ó ṣòro gbọ́. Ó ṣòro gbọ́. The next thing is infections. It's very easy for infections to get to the back. Infections from the bladder. Infection ìgbà àtọ̀. Ó máa ń ṣe lọ sẹ́yìn ni. Infection àyà. Ó máa ń ṣe lọ sẹ́yìn ni. And being in Africa, we have tuberculosis. Ó wà. Ẹni tí ó bá ti gba BCG bí báyìí iná ló fi ń ṣeré. Ẹni tí ó bá ti gbà pé wọ́n bí ẹ rí, wọ́n bí ẹ lẹ́kọ̀ọ́ yìí àbí Nàìjíríà yìí ò gba BCG. Àbólé yẹn kan ní kó má gbà fọ́mọ iná ló fi ń ṣeré. Because it's endemic. Ó ń bá àjọ ń gbé pẹ̀lú ẹ̀ ní àjọ ń jẹun, àjọ ń sùn pẹ̀lú tuberculosis ni. So àjẹsára yẹn ó di túláàsì kẹ́tì gbà. Tẹ́ bá ti bímọ láàrin ọ̀sẹ̀ méjì ọ̀sẹ̀ mẹ́ta wọ́n á ti fún BCG. Ó wà káàkiri ní health center wọ́n á ti gbà. So tuberculosis lives with us and we must have respect for it. The third one is what we call a máa ń pè ní osteoporosis. Orúkọ yẹn tóbi gan. Ṣùgbọ́n téèyàn bá ti ń dàgbà lóbìnrin, egungun á bẹ̀rẹ̀ sí í fẹ́lẹ́. Àwọn nǹkan tọ́mọdé yìí fẹ́ dánwò yẹn, tégun bá fẹ́lẹ́ báyẹn, àgbàlagbà tó bá dánwò á kàn dín nínú yọ, ètò ìgbé egungun yẹn á ṣẹ́. Ó lè láti kọbi ara sí. Oògùn àrùn tó lóògùn tó gbọ́ ni. So a máa ń fáwọn obìnrin mọ̀ràn pé bá ti dé stage yẹn kọ́ máa lò kọ́lá máa ń pè ní calcium and vitamin D supplements. When there is a back problem, how does it tell you? The first thing is that you have back pain. Back pain is back pain irrespective in what position. Because back problems are numerous. It can present with back pain in several ways. It can be back pain when you are lying down. It can be back pain when you are sitting down. It can be back pain when you are standing up. It can be back pain when you are walking. Most importantly, it is back pain. Other conditions include, other symptoms include leg pain. Nítorí pé iṣan, the nerves that conduct the muscles of the leg pass through the back. Once there is a back problem that disturbs those nerves, it will give back pain and leg pain. It's a ama wuwo, ama mu pajawa. Èyàn fẹ́ lè máa wọ́ sẹ́yìn rìn. Ẹ̀dẹ̀ máa gbọ́dọ̀ sọ pé tí bá ti rìn níwọ̀n bá díẹ̀ mú láti jókòó ni. That is serious back problem. Lẹ́yìn yẹn, kíkú rìrìrì ẹsẹ̀, you have what we call weakness of the legs, numbness of the legs. Kágbàlagbà máa rìn, àbí kéèyàn máa rìn, kí bàtà máa jábọ́ lẹ́sẹ̀. Because the nerves that also control passage of urine and stool also pass through the back, then máa gbọ́ káyọ̀ sọ pé àti tọ̀ ń nira, àbí kí tọ̀ máa jábọ́ kẹ́tù délé ìtọ̀, àti yàgbẹ́ tí ń ṣòro. Tẹ́lẹ̀tẹ́lẹ̀ ojoojúmọ́ ni mò ń gbọ̀nsẹ̀ o, nísìnyí ẹ̀kan lọ́sẹ̀ mò ń gbọ̀nsẹ̀, mo dẹ̀ ń láti gbin kí n tó gbọ̀n. Wàhálà ìyẹn ti ní kọ́lọ́fín nìyẹn. Èyí tó kù tá máa ṣàkíyèsí ni pé ikọ́ tí kọ́ bá ti ń pẹ́ jù, ká fura sí pé kọ́ yẹn lè dá wàhálà rẹ̀ lẹ́yìn. Ìtọ̀ ẹ̀jẹ̀, ìgbẹ́ ẹ̀jẹ̀, Yorùbá ní jẹ̀díjẹ̀dí, kò sárùn tó ń jẹ́ jẹ̀díjẹ̀dí o. Àrùn tó kó sábẹ́ jẹ̀díjẹ̀dí ó tó 100 oríṣiríṣi àrùn. Láti èyí tó kéré jù ń bẹ ní pé kéèyàn ṣèṣe ibi téèyàn ti ń yàgbẹ́ kẹ́jẹ̀ jáde. Èyí tó burú jù ń bẹ ní cancer. Èyàn ti rẹ́ jẹ̀dí ẹnu gbọ́n ní àwọn oníjẹ̀díjẹ̀dí ń ṣe kọ́ tó ń jẹ́ ó ju ìdí nìkan lọ o. So kéèyàn fura sí, kéèyàn dẹ̀ lọ ṣàmójútó ẹ̀. It's very very important. Tí irú kan báyẹn bá ti dé, ẹ lọ kẹ́ lọ rí doctor. Ẹ má lọ rí doctor abẹ́lé. Ẹ lọ àwọn ilé ìwòsàn ńláńlá wà ń lù, tẹ́ máa lọ kẹ́ lọ ṣàyẹ̀wò. Àwọn àyẹ̀wò yẹn wọ́n o, mi ní purọ́ fún yín o. Ṣùgbọ́n ó sàn kéèyàn ṣe kán ní kò sí nǹkan kan bẹ̀, àbí kẹ́ ṣe sọ pé ó ṣẹ̀ṣẹ̀ ń bẹ̀rẹ̀ ni, apá ti ka. Tó bá di pé ìgbà tó bá ṣẹlẹ̀ tán, èèyàn wá ṣe túláàsì. Owó tí èèyàn máa wá ná yẹn kò wá ní ṣàǹfààní fárùn yẹn mọ́. Á di pé ìrólè yẹn ń gbọ́. Ẹ bá ti wá láti ọ̀sẹ̀ kẹta sẹ́yìn. Ẹ bá ti wá lóṣù kan sẹ́yìn. Àbá kápá ẹ̀ sí tẹ́ wá yìí sẹ́yìn ìbò kápá ẹ̀. Ẹ jẹ́ ká gbìyànjú. Now, finally, go. Now, kí la máa ń ṣe sí? Ìtọ́jú ẹ̀yìn ó bẹ̀rẹ̀ láti oúnjẹ, oògùn. Àwọn ẹlòmíà lọ ọ̀rọ̀ wọn physiotherapy ló máa gbà. Àwọn míì ó máa gbàṣẹ́ abẹ. Mi ò ṣiṣẹ́ abẹ rí, mi ò ṣiṣẹ́ abẹ rí. Kíní kan ṣe pé wọ́n ṣe lágbo ilé wa, ò tí ì ní ìdí ẹ̀ ni. Tó bá ní ìdí ẹ̀, wọ́n ló máa jákọ̀ọ́kọ́ lágbo ilé yín. Iṣẹ́ abẹ tó dẹ̀ ń ṣe lẹ́kọ̀ọ́ yìí kò lè wà less than 5,000 a day. Tó bá gbẹ́ tó ṣiṣẹ́ abẹ ló ń kú ni, àwọn èèyàn máa kú bí kíní ni. Mi ò bẹ́ lọ́run iṣẹ́ abẹ fẹ́ nìkan kan o. Ọlọ́run ní jẹ́ arárùn iṣẹ́ abẹ o. Tó bí kò sí kékeré iṣẹ́ abẹ. Ṣùgbọ́n tẹ́ bá ti débi táwọn tẹ́ pàdé, àwọn tó mọṣẹ́ tó dángájá, tẹ́ bá ti fún yín lóòótọ́ ọ̀rọ̀, àbùkù tó máa ń ṣẹlẹ̀ ni pé ẹ máa wá fátúà káàkiri. Ẹ máa wá dókítà tó máa sọ pé ẹ ní ìdí ẹ̀. Ibi tẹ́ ti ń ṣe yẹn, àsìkò ń lọ, àrùn yẹn ò ní dúró dè yín. Bọ́jọ́ ṣe ń gorí ọjọ́, àrùn yẹn á máa gbòòrò sí. Wọ́n á wá lọ, wọ́n á rìn ní ọdún kan àbọ̀, wọ́n á ná gbogbo owó tán ní. Wọ́n ṣẹ̀ wá padà wá síbi tí wọ́n ti ń bọ̀. Ìgbà yẹn, owó yẹn á ti ju ibi tó yẹ kó ṣe lọ. Àrùn yẹn lè ti kọjá ibi tó wà ń gbà yẹn. So Ọlọ́run kó yà wá ya àrùn. So in summary, what I've tried to say is that, look, the care of the back starts from when the mother is pregnant, from her own proper nutrition, to when the child is born, to proper breastfeeding, for you to allow your children to explore themselves. Let them play. That is building the muscles and the bone. But teach them caution. Don't overburden them with things that they don't really need to do, with heavy loads and heavy back. But always listen to them. Always listen. There's only Orokotaman so ni agbo awa oníṣẹ́ ìlera. Ọmọdé ìpúrọ̀. Tọ́mọdé bá tó bá rẹ ọmọdé lẹ́ni tẹ́ bá fún lóògùn tára bá ti yá díẹ̀ lọ́la báyìí tẹ́ bá débẹ̀ nígbà lórí ìjókòó wọn sá káàkiri ni. Ṣùgbọ́n àgbàlagbà tó bá rẹ̀ tọ́sẹ̀ mẹ́ta ò báyìí tí ì pé á ló ṣe rẹ̀hùn ní alájìkí ló ṣe ò sí. Ó rẹ̀ mí díẹ̀, ó rẹ̀ mí láti fi jọ́ mi lókun, ó rẹ̀ mí díẹ̀, ó rẹ̀ mí ló máa ń sọ. Ọmọdé ìpúrọ̀. Tọ́mọdé wá ń sọ fún yín pé màmá nǹkan ń ṣe mí ẹ̀yìn dùn mí. Ẹ gbìyànjú kẹ́ wádìí nǹkan tó ń ṣe. Kò ní lè ṣàlàyé ẹ̀. The child will not be able to explain like the adult. But please just explore. That's your exploration. If you don't find anything, good. But don't think that there's nothing and then you refuse to explore. And at the end of the day, you find something that you could have prevented at a very subtle level. Please always listen to them. Then listen to your own body. And then glorify Allah by moving around. Àwọn imam wọ́n sọ pé ara bá sán òun dúpẹ́ lọ́dọ̀ Ọlọ́run ọba ni. Tí kìnìún tó bá pariwo nínú igbó òun dúpẹ́ lọ́dọ̀ Ọlọ́run ọba. Gbogbo orin tẹ́yìn náà rìn báyìí ọpẹ́ ni fọ́lọ́run ọba. Because ọgọ́rọ̀ èèyàn ní olè rìn o. I can assure you there are lots of people who would have wanted to come here today but they can't come. Because there's absolutely no strength in the legs to bring them. So that for Allah to give you the strength to rise up in the morning from bed, it's some form of it's a gift. Allah doesn't give it to everybody. Then for you to get out of bed and not have pain. Ikpe odide láàárọ̀, ara òru ẹ, ìkẹ́ni, ó wá dìde ó wá rìn lọ wá rìn bọ̀. Níjọ́ tí nǹkan bá ṣe ẹlẹ́sẹ̀ tó bá lè gbé ẹsẹ̀ yẹn ló máa mọ̀ yìí pé àṣé kéèyàn lè rìn. Àṣé sẹ̀kínà, àṣé orí Ọlọ́run ọba ni. So Ọlọ́run ọba kó ṣàlékún orí ẹ̀. Ẹ̀yin Ọlọ́run ọba kó bá tọ́jú ẹ̀. Ọlọ́run ọba kó kọ́ àmọ́ tọ́jú. I always like to say this. I know this is not part of what I was asked to say, but I will say this. Because of what Brother Lukman said. Ìbànújẹ́ ni pé àwa we are the best of humankind. Àwa ni Ọlọ́run bá gbé dìde ká tọ́ àwọn èèyàn sọ́nà ká dẹ̀ ní káwọn èèyàn má ṣe bàjẹ́. Very few of the doctors that are in this town are Muslims. I'm sorry I know I'm doing advert for myself, but let me just do it for 1 second. Very few. Àwọn tó jẹ́ doctor ńlú yìí Mùsùlùmí ò pọ̀ láàrin wọn. Àṣírí ẹ̀ ni pé ọmọ olówó yìí sábà jẹ́ doctor. Ẹ lọ kọ́lẹ̀ kò ráyè ẹ̀ kò ní sùúrù ẹ̀. Ọmọ atapata dìde ní máa sábà jẹ́ doctor. So àwọn tó máa ń jẹ́ doctor àwọn ọmọ orú títí yín ní báyìí tó ń jẹ́ pé wọ́n fagídí dì í wọ́n fi rú wọ́n fi tì í àwọn òbí wọn náà forí tì í kọ́mọ wọn bá jẹ́ èèyàn lẹ́yìn ọ̀la. Tọ́mọ yẹn bá jẹ́ doctor tó wọ́n bá jẹ́ doctor Mùsùlùmí gbogbo ẹni tó bá ṣe lóore yìí náà àgbàládá ń bẹ̀. Ẹ gbìyànjú. We don't have enough Muslims in the health sector. We are too few and far between. May Allah make it easy. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
All praises and gratitude is due to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, the controller of all affairs. Admonition Islamic Center hereby expresses solidarity with Nigerians at this critical moment of our nationhood due to the scourge of COVID-19 globally. We especially feel for the Muslim Ummah, who from all indications will have to start the 2020 Ramadan season in complete lockdown. There won't be Taraweeh, no physical tafsir sessions, no joint iftar, no itikaf, and possibly no Eid al-Fitr prayers. For the same reason, the AIC is supposed to be 10 years this year, and arrangements have been concluded to feature 10 guest speakers for 10 hours at the prestigious National Art Theatre Igomu, Lagos on Saturday 2nd May 2020. But by Allah's will, it will not hold again. We take solace in the fact that Allah is the best of all planners and He alone knows best. We beseech Allah to spare our lives till next year's Ramadan 2021, inshallah. We pray for Allah's forgiveness, that Allah heals the world, put an end to this pandemic, and give us the privilege to be together for His sake again to witness more Ramadan in good health. Ameen. Inshallah, our focus this 2020 Ramadan in our own little way is to provide foodstuffs to the fasting Muslims who are in need. May your rewards be great with Allah as you join us to make this dream a reality. For inquiries, call 0802-335-5870, 0808-690-5870, or 0708-378-7920. Account details: Admonition Islamic Center, Bank, Sterling Bank. Account number 050-021-1796. Lukman Adekombi for AIC. Ramadan Mubarak.
رمضان رمضان يا حبيب.
We appreciate the lecture given by Dr. Alhaji Mustafa. I just have a few questions for him. First question I want to ask is that doctor recommended calcium for us. I want to know which brand of calcium is good for adults. Because somebody said, after the age of 40, you may not need it. You need calcium sulfate. How far is that true? And what are the sources, the food sources of calcium for adults and for the mankind generally? Again, what kind of exercises are recommended at home for those who don't go to gym? And even if we perform salat, we still need to do some exercises, basically at home. Again, what kind of investigations can be affordable so that we avoid much stress later? So I'll stop here for now. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
For those of us that have questions, I believe we are done writing them. The brother with the mic will take your questions. Please just indicate by putting your hand up with the question. So the question will be collected, inshallah. While that is going on, we will call on our doctor to attend to the question of our father, inshallah.
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. The person that spoke is a doctor. You see, he went into detail, calcium, phosphorus, calcium. You know, when we talk, once we speak our language, we recognize the language. Actually, the more important thing is actually vitamin D, D3. Less of calcium, more of vitamin D3. The vitamin D3 is what actually goes away. Calcium you can easily come by in diets. The commonest diets that people get calcium from are dairy products, but also bone products. You can get calcium from them. But vitamin D3 is what we really lay emphasis on, because calcium is useless without vitamin D3. The body's stock of calcium. Calcium is most important in the blood. The bones are just a store for calcium. So once calcium is low in the blood, it will take from the bones. Whether the bone has or it doesn't have, it will take its own, because that is essential for living. But vitamin D is what is required to trap calcium. So what we encourage is vitamin D. And vitamin D is very, very available in a lot of oily products for the kids, and the milk, and the cheese, and the wara, and things like that, and some legumes. But as you grow older, you will require supplements. We encourage the women to start supplementing as early as the age of 37, 38, 39, 40. Once the cycle start becoming not so effective cycle. By 50, we encourage all women to have started supplementation, because the average African woman goes into menopause at 50. But for men as well, we encourage them to start supplementation by around that same age, so that we can avoid osteoporotic fractures. Then you talk about exercise. You don't, Allah's earth is big enough for you. There are quite a number of distances that, when I was younger in this Lagos, there are bus stops. From bus stop, I'm in Lolini. Listen, people get down from buses at bus stops, and then they take Okada home. Distances that are reasonably walkable, for goodness sake. Very, very walkable distances. Now, everybody wants to be dropped right in front of their homes. And those who Allah has blessed with cars, they can take walks on weekends. There is always a place to walk around in Lagos. They can take walks. So it's not necessarily gym within your house, not necessarily jog within your house, but you can walk. And it helps you to breathe fresher air and to think better.
Sir, someone wants to know, is there any recommended everlasting drug that cures ulcer permanently?
Ulcer.
Yes, sir.
I thought I was talking about back. Now, people talk about ulcer. Ulcer has several causes, but ulcer is best verified by what we call an OGD. You do an esophagogastroduodenoscopy. You scope to see the ulcer. Once they scope to see the ulcer, they take a small piece of what is in the ulcer. If it's bacteria, they give you drugs for it. If it's not, then they caution you on lifestyle and diet. Because at times people have ulcer, or they think they have ulcer, and what they have is a cancer. So you see, so it's always good to go and check these things. So you are looking for an everlasting drug. You go and check first. Huh? All right.
This one is not so clear. What kind of fruit can you eat to relieve back pains and neck pains?
Back pain and neck pain is not relieved by food. It can be caused by overeating, but it's not relieved by food. Keep moving. You see, as you grow older, once you are older than 50, Allah in His infinite mercy strengthens your bone and reduces your flexibility. And Allah has designed the body to move power, nutrients, and activity to areas that you need. If you subject a child to only television, to bad day school, because you have not used that brain, so that brain has been restricted to the level of its use or misuse or abuse. But if you subject a child to the memorization of the Quran, so it's the same with your body. If you keep moving your body, you will move it for longer. But if you don't move, you will not move it for long. If you sit down on a bed for one day, no matter your age, when you get up, you have back pain. Your body will creak because you have not moved it for so long. So like I tell people, the secret of movement is what? Is movement.
What can you do to neck pain? What can you do about neck pain? It's another question here.
Go and see a doctor.
Then someone wants to know, do you need to seek medical attention when you sit for so long and you have numbness in your leg? You stretch it and it gets normal again.
No, there is this sitting that we do as Muslims when we are doing tilawa, we are doing zikr. You take some postures, you fold your legs, and you get numbness, and you stretch it, and the numbness goes away. That is not what we are talking about. But that you sit on a chair like this for a few minutes, and you now say your leg is numb, and it's go and see a doctor. After a while, you move the leg, you adjust it. That is understandable.
Someone wants to know, is it good to take agbo for back pain and neck pain? Is it advisable?
This is the way. I don't know what they call agbo. Yeah, I'll be frank with you. I don't know what you call agbo. Is it that which one exactly is it that you are talking about? I don't know what you are calling agbo, so I cannot give you a recommendation based on that.
All right, so someone is asking what you can do to help a child that has weak bones and muscles. A child.
I don't know what that means. You know why I'm saying I don't know what that means? There are children, if a child has cerebral palsy, it's a different disease. So for you to say your child has weak bones and muscles, it means that either you have investigated or you are making a supposition. So if you have not investigated and you are making a supposition, then see a doctor. Let them make a diagnosis. and then you work on that. But what we are saying is that if you nourish your child very well and you allow for activities, your child should not have weak bones and muscles. That's what we are saying.
I didn't quite get the last paragraph here, but the meat of this question is that the person wants to know what you can do about serious muscle pull. A 24-year-old female, she has serious muscle pull. What can she do about it?
The people call a lot of things muscle pull. At times, what they call muscle pull means that the nerves are disturbed and they are not firing well to the muscle. That may be muscle pull. Now, what sportsmen call muscle pull is sudden jerking of muscles. If it becomes a recurrent thing, then that's a disease. You don't see a footballer having muscle pull in every game, then he's in trouble. Then that's a problem. So when you say you have serious muscle pull, just see a doctor, let him examine you. It may be a simple problem. It may be a really serious problem that you're just covering.
All right, sir. Someone asked that because you advised that we get a lot of experts, a lot of professionals, in the medical line. So
Yes.
someone is saying that after these people have become qualified,
Yes.
what can be done to help them get into parastatals and have good jobs, at the state and federal level?
That one is not a problem. You see, the way it is that that question, the way it looks like to me is you're saying that, okay, let me go and look for food. So when I get the food, what do I do to eat it? The truth about life is that it's about you. It's like you carrying a torchlight. As you move forward along the corridor, you see ahead. You don't sit down on one spot and you want to see the other end of the corridor. You have to get that touch. That's why the Quran, they said, kum, 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 fa'anzir, kum, kum. You have to kum. You get up. Then you start moving. As you move, then the road starts getting clearer for you. But for you to sit down your house, and you want to sit down, stay here, and see the other end of the corridor, I got scared, you won't see it. You have to get up. But as you move, we have all agreed that it's doable. Then start doing it. So don't start saying that, how do you... there are many Muslim brothers that are employed in government services. But the first is for you to come out of medical school, Abi. So when you come out, then we'll now start looking for how you get employed. That's the next stage. Well, go and do the training first.
Sir, if you have back aches when you bend down to sweep, what can you do about it?
And that question, that person has to see me. You know why?
Maybe getting long brooms or something.
You know why I'm saying that? I wager whoever sent that question is a woman. And I also wager that the husband may be here. So those questions need to be addressed in totality. It's not something you answer. You say, stop sweeping.
Sir, that's not all. If you are not given BCG at birth, can you take it
yes.
as an adult?
Yes. Yes. You can take BCG as an adult. Yes. I have friends who took BCG as an adult. Yes, you can.
Someone is asking, what advice do you have for those who have who balance heavy items on their heads regularly, especially in our culture?
Well, some are economic circumstances. You understand what I'm saying? And for some, it's something that they need to do to earn a living. What we do is we advise them not to overdo it. But you know the irony of life? Allah in His infinite mercy tends to protect those ones. In the hospitals, we see fewer of them. In the hospitals, we see more of middle class people who don't balance anything on their head. And then they are the ones that complain more.
Someone has pain around his or her waist region, and he said it's been affecting locomotion. What can the person do about it?
Person should see a doctor. Person will need to do an X-ray, will need to do an MRI. Person should see a doctor.
Don't give in to shaitan.
Someone is saying, if because you said your body communicates to you when the body is, in problem and stuff. If someone has been getting signs but the person says he has been seeing the medical practitioner for about 5 years, and the practitioner is saying that you're fine, you're okay. He keeps experiencing
Colorello me.
So you see someone else if you don't understand
you. Somebody else.
If you have pains in your groin, what do you do?
Where is groin? Where is groin? Those are not questions that you answer in a public forum like this. Where is groin? It's not, pain is something that a person must be examined. Because at times when somebody says that then we examine you. There are several things in the groin that can cause pain.
So how do you manage inconsistencies from medical practitioners when diagnoses are different, they are far off on the same issue? How do you manage that?
There are several reasons why there are inconsistencies. If there are inconsistencies in your complaint and stories, there will be inconsistencies in diagnosis. If you tell this story here and you tell another story there, you get different diagnoses. That's the first thing. If your story is consistent, then it's better for you to see a specialist. It's not good to go doctor shopping. It's a very bad habit. You can ask for second opinion. You can ask for third opinion. If you feel that, okay, opinion A, opinion B, you need a neutralizer. But be sure of those you are going to see.
I'll have to read this one. The person is saying for autoimmune diseases like fibromyalgia. I hope I got that correctly. That brings about physical pain and at times emotional distress.
Yeah.
And do not have a known cure yet. And triggers the pain. What advice do you? Sir, you have to read this.
Yeah, I'm a doctor. We are good at reading those kind of things. It's not. Allah in His infinite mercy says that all diseases have cures, but He has not given us the knowledge for all the cures to all diseases. There are some diseases that, as at date, we don't have the cure. What we have are drugs that palliate diseases. One of them is autoimmune disease. We don't have the cure. We just palliate it. So instead of treating the cause, because we don't have the cure for the cause, we treat the symptoms that the patient complains about. So patient has pain, we give painkillers. Patient has depression, we refer to a psychologist. So you manage the symptoms as the patient presents. So that is for autoimmune disease. I think that's all. Thank you.
The month of Ramadan is the month that the beginning is mercy, the middle is forgiveness, and the end is freedom from hellfire. The Admonition Islamic Center presents their annual Ramadan lecture, tagged Message of Mercy, held on Saturday, 26th of May 2018 at the National Arts Theatre, Igomu, Lagos, followed by the recitation of the Holy Quran by Abdullahi Oyebanji and Farida Yusuf from At Tenzil School, Ikorodu.
ألا تطغوا في الميزان وأقيموا الوزن بالقسط ولا تخسروا الميزان والأرض وضعها للأنام.
Most beneficent, Allah, has taught you mankind the Quran by His mercy. He created man, He taught him eloquent speech. The sun and the moon run on their fixed courses exactly calculated with the measured out stages for each.
Speaking the brain behind the organization of Ramadan programs and appreciating all their donors and supporters is the CEO of Admonition Islamic Center, Alhaji Adekombi.
Our theme for this Ramadan is message of mercy. Mercy has been described as an unmerited favor from Allah. It shows this to mankind irrespective of belief, creed, or attitude, but just as a tip. However, it's full of mercy, is reserved only for the true believer in the message of Islam, the day of judgment. We appreciate you all, our esteemed audience, for always keeping faith. And I must thank all my brothers and sisters in Ireland. They are always there to encourage us whenever we send our posters, especially during the month of Ramadan. May Allah's continue to purify your mind. Bless you abundantly.
The first lecturer of the day, Dr. MUSTAPHA ALIMI, Chief Medical Director, Orthopedic Hospital IGBOBI, who educates all on how to manage their back and they understand structure of the back.
For a being, for a creation of Allah to stand upright, you need the back. As Allah's design. Now, what are the components of the back? Allah plastered the back with skin. That skin is supposed to hold the meat, which people call muscles, that are inside the skin. Those muscles are there to give balance to bones and to control the bones that are there to maintain the structure of the back. In Allah's evolution, Allah looked at it and looked from cradle to the grave. These kids that don't have self-control, they don't have balance, they will trip. So what Allah in His infinite mercy did was that for their back, He made sure that their muscles are more elastic and their bones are made more of soft tissues. The bones in their back now, they are more of soft tissues than hard tissue. So when a baby is born and you carry the baby, you see, it looks like this, it looks floppy. Allah allowed that for flexibility and for protection for the child, but because the child has no self-control.
Among the dignitaries in attendance is Ajara Adiola, MD CEO Lotus Capital, who did justice on the topic, the place of Sukuk in national development, and enlighten all on how to fund Sukuk.
This is an important distinction from the conventional market. Sukuk is probably considered one of the most prominent contributions of Islam to contemporary finance. In this age of oppression, wars, extremism, Sukuk with its Islamic connotation is not tainted by negative media coverage. So what is it? What is Sukuk? It is collective ownership of an asset for which you can make a gain. For example, if 10 of us contribute 100,000 naira each to buy a 1 million naira house to put on rent, as I put down 100,000 naira, I own 10% of that house, right? The Sukuk certificate is simply saying I am entitled to 10% of any gain from renting the house, and when we sell the house, I will get 10% of the proceeds of that sale. Is that clear? Crucially, if I have a solid tenant, a reliable, high-quality tenant, who has offered to pay 100,000 naira per annum in rent, the Sukuk holders can be told that you will earn a fixed return of 10,000 naira every year, or 10% per annum. That is one way an Islamic finance instrument can give a fixed return. Other instruments can give variable returns if you're not sure of the profit you're going to make. So Sukuk are simply certificates that give investors the rights of ownership of an asset through which they can earn returns. Sukuk provides an alternative to interest-based and prohibited products such as conventional bonds and treasury bills. Sukuk can be formed through equity partnerships, profit and loss, through lease arrangements, like the example I just gave, rental arrangements, or through trade contracts, buying and selling. And they allow people to participate in a productive economic activity in a way that does not compromise our faith. It's also not just for Muslims. Anyone can and should invest. In modern days, Sukuk has contributed to significant development projects across the world. In Malaysia, Sukuk have been used to fund the light rail systems. In Dubai, the international airport was built using Sukuk. In Saudi Arabia, Sukuk was used to construct the beautiful Zamzam towers that face the Haram. Even the World Bank has raised Sukuk to acquire immunization vaccines in its intervention in the health sector. Across the world, an average of $100 billion of Sukuk is raised every year, with Malaysia, Indonesia, Saudi Arabia, and the UAE issuing the most. But in recent years, many countries have joined the Sukuk issuing list, including the United Kingdom, Hong Kong. In Africa, we've had South Africa, Ivory Coast, Senegal, Togo, and Nigeria have all issued to book.
The thought-provoking lecture by Imam Abdurrahman Olariwajo Hamad, the Chief Missioner of Ansarudin Society of Nigeria, held everyone spellbound in his usual well-articulated delivery.
There is nothing in existence except that it is enjoying the rahmah of Allah. Without the rahmah of Allah, there will be no existence. It is the rahmah of Allah that has brought the world into existence. It is the rahmah of Allah that has balanced life in this world in such a manner that life can be sustained. It is rahmah of Allah that you can see. It is the rahmah of Allah that you can hear. It is the rahmah of Allah that you can talk and walk and think and do all the other things. It is the rahmah of Allah that the sun can rise and set, the moon can rise and set, the day can break and the night can fall. It is the rahmah of Allah that it can rain. It is the right of, it is part of the rahmah of Allah that you can eat and digest. It is the rahmah of Allah.
The feedback from the event was overwhelming from the organizers, guests, and lecturers.
I feel that Allah's mercy is on me. That exactly gave me the inspiration to come out with this subject of talk. So looking at that, Allah is so merciful. And when you look at the Surah Al-Rahman, several times in the Holy Quran, Allah will say, which of the blessings of your Lord will you deny? That's to tell you that in no way Allah has denied any mankind or his mercy. He has always been merciful to us. And if Allah is merciful to us, we should be grateful. That's the reason why we are here. It's something that we are used to. We always enjoy going through all this strenuous stuff because at the end of the day, if you are doing it sincerely for the purpose of, for the sake of Allah, definitely Allah will reward you.
This message is the kind of message that should be constant in our lives. It's a message of inspiration. It's a message that takes us back to where we should be. And it's a message that also focuses us on what we should be doing, where we should be going.
It just confirms to me that Allah's mercy is boundless, it is limitless, it is endless, and for every moment of our existence is through the mercy of Allah. So in everything we do, it is because Allah is merciful to us. And the convener, Lukman Adekombi, is a very passionate young man and is passionate about the religion and about propagating the religion in a very good light. He does this every year. I'm just going to encourage him to continue, that Allah will continue to bless him, to give him the wherewithal, to give him the energy and the wherewithal to make this program a lasting legacy.
Well, I've learned that Allah's rahmah comes in two forms. The one we earn and the one we have to work for.
It's been a really wonderful session today. This lecture conducted by Admonition. The topic was mercy. And we've had really, really wonderful speeches by Dr. ALIMI on health and your back, and particularly by Imam Abdurrahman Ahmad, who's always a joy to listen to. And he was talking about rahmah, mercy, and how everything in our life is a mercy. And it just made one very, very sober. It just reminded us, as the doctor, that if you wake up in the morning and you're able to get up, it's a mercy from Allah.
We wish the organizers of Admonition Islamic Center more successes in their future program.